Everyone in this arena has a money stake in one of our famous couples as we play the game of celebrity gossip, Tattletales. And here's the star of Tattletales, Bert Convy.
Hello, everybody. That should give you some idea how it's been the last couple of days. We've had wild times here. We're going to have another wild one today, and I'll show you why. You're going to meet the three couples that have been causing all the nonsense. On my left, winning money today for the Blues section, Mr. Television, Mr. Milton Berle, and his wife, Ruth.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll get them today, Blue.
Are you both very confident today?
Since yesterday, since that question that, what was the question that...
Who's more angry at who?
Gets
more angry. You're not angry at anyone, are you?
No, of course not.
No, of course not. Okay, that's the way I figured it would be. See, it makes out to be such a heavy... Winning money today for the banana section, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Glenn Ford and his gal, Cynthia.
Hello. How are you?
Cynthia, how are you, darling?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine. You look lovely. And Glenn, you're puffing away. You're all set to go?
I'm ready.
We have three gentlemen here today who want to puff on big, long cigars. And the third one you're going to meet now,
ashes.
he is winning money for the red section, Mr. Donald Ross and his wife, Patti Deutsch.
And they say the Bay of Pigs invasion wasn't a success. Look what we have. We're loaded with it.
Do you know something that just occurred to me? We're probably the only show in television that doesn't have a camera between the audience and the show. Our camera's all around the back, so you're closer to the audience than in most shows, and if you object to the cigar smoke gang, you can just tell them and they'll put them right out, won't you, fellas?
On the other hand, go to a show that doesn't pay this well.
That's true, too.
Look at it that way.
Okay.
What does all of this have to do with the Bay of Pigs?
Nothing. That was
a
Donald's
Cuban
Forget
joke.
about it. It's
Milton.
about Havana.
Thank
She
you.
don't know Patti. She's Dutch.
Arriba.
She's Deutsch.
Bad joke, but what? You
All
got
right,
a question?
I've got a question. Have I got a question for you?
You're
It's
wearing
what-
the suit I wore yesterday.
No, I am not. Your suit had zippers on the pockets. Mine doesn't.
No, my suit had a zipper up the back, is what
Oh.
it was. That's what it is.
See, maybe that's why things aren't going so well for you, Donald. You're dressed backward. All right, here we go. Ladies, this question's worth $150. Which of you knows more about the other's romantic past? You or your fella? Don't say anything. Which of you knows more about the other's romantic past? You or your guy? Think about that one. We'll come back for your answers in just a moment. And we'll start right down the line. So, Milton, we're going to begin with you. Between you and Ruth, who knows more about the other's romantic past? Now, of course, there is... Well, I shouldn't say that.
Ruth didn't have a past.
No. Of course, you have a book out at the moment that,
that
talks about it a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I'd say that Ruth knows more about my romantic past.
You think so? And what she doesn't know, she can read the book and find out, right? Let's bring her on and find out. Ruth, between you and Milton, who knows more about the other's romantic past?
Well, I would say I know more about Milton's.
That's what he said, and you're right. You're absolutely right. You have a share of the pot, however...
Not only do I know...
However, you have something more to add to that,
Well,
I
I
feel.
do. I would say not only do I know, the whole world knows, because he wrote a book.
That's right. In fact, I was telling Milton today that I had seen an episode of his romantic past in Errol Flynn's book.
Oh, yes.
All right, let's not.
We won't get into that. Is that we shouldn't talk? All right,
Milton
thank
and
you.
Errol Flynn?
Anyway,
Not
thank you.
me
Ruth,
and
you have
Errol
a share of
Flynn,
fun.
no.
No, not Milton and Errol Flynn. See, that's a terrible thing to say, Donald.
Well, you said it.
Well,
I
I
didn't
know,
say
but
it.
that's how you start rumors. You mustn't do that.
You're the one who brought it up.
I know it. I know. I heard
Well,
it somewhere.
youth must have its Flynn.
That's
Go ahead.
Oh. Whoa. Glenn, what's Cynthia going to say? Do you know a lot about her romantic past, or does she know more about your romantic past?
I know more about his romantic past than Cynthia, I'll tell you.
Well, I would like to have the romantic past that Milton has.
Yes.
Oh, stop it.
Oh, stop it, you too. I think Cynthia knows more about my romantic past.
Okay. The banana section agrees heartily. Let's bring her on and find out. Cynthia,
Yes.
who knows more about the other's romantic past?
Oh, gosh.
That's a terrible way. Well, I wasn't romantic until I met Glenn, so I would say I know more about his.
That's what he said, and you're right. Okay, well done. All right, Fast Donald, the pressure is on you. Everybody has it right so far. What's going to be the answer?
Patty is learning about my romantic past on this show.
She is, huh?
And she's not happy about it either. No, since I know all about the date that she had. I would say that she knows more about mine.
She knows more about yours.
Yeah, she likes to ask questions. I never ask questions.
Really?
I never say, you know, where were you on the night of June the 3rd?
No. Does she say that to you?
No.
No.
She would have told him she was with me.
She was with Milton.
And it's in Milton's book.
Read the book. Read the book. Okay, let's bring on Patty. Patty, who knows more about the other's romantic past, you or Donald?
I do.
You know more? That's right. That's what Donald
However.
said. Oh, wait a minute.
However,
Wait a minute. Red has something to add to that.
yes, I know even more about Mr. Burles because I read his book.
That's what we want to say. Isn't that funny? Oh, well. Oh, hey, listen, gang, I have good news for you. You all got it right. We split the opening pot 3 ways, and we'll come back and split all the rest of the pots in just a moment. Please come on back with us now. Good news this week. This is a good one.
Yeah?
I promise you we got a little trouble with this one. Ladies, if you are ready, here it comes. This is worth $150. You and your guy each take the same IQ test. You get the scores in the mail, and they show that your IQ is higher than his. What would you do? Would you tell him the truth? Would you tell him you got about the same scores? Or would you tell him he got the higher score? Don't say anything. You and your guy each took the same IQ test. You get the scores in the mail, and they show that your IQ is higher than his. What would you do? Tell him the truth, tell him you got about the same score, or tell him he got the higher score? Think about that, ladies. We'll come back for your answers in a moment. I think this is an interesting situation here. Glenn, do you find it kind of an interesting situation? What do you think Cynthia would do? Would she tell you the truth, that her score was higher? Would she tell you that your scores were about the same, or would she tell you that your score was higher?
I think that there's no way, oh, please, Cynthia, there's no way that Cynthia could not tell the truth.
And she would say to you, Glenn, I have to tell you that I have a higher IQ than you.
See, I knew the answer until you said that.
Oh. It ain't easy. That's not an easy question.
No, she'd tell the truth.
She would, do you think so? She'd say, sorry, Glenn, but I have to tell you.
I hope so.
This is the way it goes. Let's bring her on. Cynthia, what are you going to do? Now, you got the scores in the mail. Lo and behold, yours is higher. Are you going to tell Glenn that? Or are you going to tell him you got about the same score? Or are you going to tell him that his score was higher?
Well, it would be impossible for me to get a higher score. I would say...
But that's what came in the mail, you see. In the mail it says...
No, I know. So I would say that I would tell him he got the higher score.
Oh, you would? That's not what he said.
No. Oh, well, we lose again.
No, but you see, that's very sweet. He said no, she'd tell me, and then that she got...
No, I wouldn't tell him. Are you kidding?
Oh, no, I'm not kidding at all.
A male ego?
Yes,
no.
yeah, that's... there's the rub. That's what makes it tough. Sorry about that, Cynthia. Donald, what's Patty going to say?
Patty would say, hey, stupid. She'd say, hey, you got the brain of a 9-year-old. That's what she'd say. And this test proves it. I mean, that's what she'd say. She'd say, I've known it all along in
That's
here.
right. Here, you want some
can't
proof?
you fit the round peg into the square? She'd tell me the truth.
She'd tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Let's bring her on. Patty.
Yeah?
What are you going to do now? You get the IQs back. Yours is higher. Are you going to tell Fast Donald that? Or are you going to tell him the scores are the same? Or are you going to tell him his score was higher?
I'm going to tell him the truth,
That's what he said.
And anyone else who will listen.
Hey, Patty.
Yes?
Now, since you've already said you'd tell the truth, just for fun, have you ever taken, both of you, IQ tests? Do you happen to know what your IQ rating is?
What is an IQ test?
Maybe I'll just ask you, Patty.
It's the one where you fill in the blanks with little X's.
Yes. No. You don't really know, huh?
What? Yes.
Do you know what your IQ is?
Yes, but I'm not going to tell you.
I see.
Because I don't want to...
Does Donald know what your IQ
No.
is? I see.
He just knows my bust measurement. That's what he's interested in.
That's all he wants to know, right? Okay. Thank you, Patty.
I know
what's
it's
Ruth
not
gonna
the
say?
measurement of an 8-year-old. I know that.
Yeah, all right.
I can't imagine Cynthia not telling the truth.
I do tell the truth.
Yes, she does. It's over, Glenn. You lost it. There's no way you can get it back. Milton, what's Ruth going to say?
I know Ruth. I think I do after 23 years. She's the most honest, most frank gal I've ever met. But as Don said, man's ego, especially in show business, I think she would say that I had the higher IQ.
She would? The boo section knows. Whoa. You would? You think she'd say...
I think Ruth would say that to me.
She'd say that to you?
You're talking to me.
That's what we're asking
to me,
about.
all right, to me.
Okay. He knows. All right, let's bring on Ruth and see what she says. Ruth, what are you going to do now? You've got the scores in the mail. Your IQ is higher. Are you going to tell Milton that? Or are you going to tell him you scored about the same? Or are you going to say, Milton, you were higher?
Well, I think it's too late to start lying now. I'd tell him the truth.
That's not what Milton
I said. No, I prefaced it with she's very honest, but she's been living with an actor.
Yes.
And actors like to be flattered.
Well, let me tell you.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yes.
Now you tell me.
Oh, do you know I was an actor?
Ruth, if you ever get the test in the mail, would you tell him his was higher? That's what he'd like to hear. And
I'll just send it on to his apartment.
Yes, all right. Whoops. Whoa. Hey, Patty and Donald, guess what? You get the whole pot, and it's halftime, and we'll trade places, gentlemen. If you will step to the rear, we'll bring the ladies here. While we're changing places, we'll break away. We'll be back in just a moment. Please come back now. See you in a minute. It is just after halftime. We have changed places. I have the ladies with me. We have a pretty close game. Actually, we have 2/3 of a tie. Milton, you and Glenn have $50 apiece, but Donald's got 200, so you got to catch up. Here we go. Men, $150. We've heard a lot about male chauvinism, but there's also female chauvinism. Is your gal as much of a female chauvinist as you are a male chauvinist? Now think about it a second. We've heard a lot about male chauvinism, but there is also female chauvinism. Is your gal as much of a female chauvinist as you are a male chauvinist?
What's chauvinist mean?
We'll explain it to you backstage.
Okay.
Thank you,
It's on your
Donald.
IQ test.
Off you go. Come on, fellas. We'll see you in a minute. We'll start with you, Patty.
Oh, hello.
This is not saying that there is any, maybe the degree of chauvinism in both of you is tiny. Is there
Yeah.
as much in you as there is in Donald? Or more?
He's not at all chauvinistic. Except he did get me a subscription to Ms. Magazine and had it sent to Mrs. Donald Ross. But other than that... One little slip.
Yes.
He's not at all chauvinistic, and neither am I.
So
we're equally chauvinistic.
I would say that then you would say there is as much female chauvinism in you as there is male chauvinism in him.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes. Just want to be sure that I
I
was...
just lost interest.
All right. Let's bring on Donald. Donald.
Yeah.
Listen, now pull yourself together and think about this. Is Patty as much of a female chauvinist as you are a male chauvinist?
Sure.
That's what she said. See, that
Nothing, sure. What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
You're absolutely right, Fast Donald. Thank you. In what way are you a male chauvinist, Donald?
I got Patty a subscription to Ms. Magazine. I sent it to, had it sent to Mrs. Donald Ross.
I already heard that, honey.
Well, she just told us that story.
Well, that's it.
Well, that's
what else are you going to say?
It was a perfect example. You're right.
Yeah.
Ruth, what's Milton going to say?
Well, I'm a little confused. Are you saying are we equally? Is that the question? Or which one is more?
No, I guess I'm saying, are you equal? Is your gal as much of a female chauvinist as you are a male chauvinist? Is she is, if you have, yes, are you equal in your amounts of chauvinism?
Well, I think that he's more of a male chauvinist, but I don't think he thinks so. So I think he will say we're equal.
Aha, okay, that's right. That's the way to play the game. You must try and go where you think he's going to go.
You don't think so? You think he's more of a male chauvinist?
Oh, they think he's more of a male chauvinist than you are a female
I
chauvinist.
don't know. Am I in their hands?
No, you
No?
can do what you like.
I think I'll say we're equal.
Okay, you'll say that you are as much of a female
I
chauvinist
think he'll
as he
say
is.
that we're equal.
All right. However,
I mean, I rest my case.
All right, let's bring him on. Milton, do you think that Ruth is as much of a female chauvinist as you are a male chauvinist?
Well, in the first place, I am not a male chauvinist.
Yeah.
And in the second place, I think, let me get the answer straight.
Yeah, the answer really is yes or no. Is Ruth as much of a female chauvinist as you are a male chauvinist? Is she an equally chauvinistic
Well,
as
let me
you
just
are?
say that Ruth is not a female chauvinist.
Okay. So, is she as much a female chauvinist as you are a male chauvinist?
Yes.
That's right.
That's a tough question.
right.
That's a tough question.
That's very tough.
That's tough.
And you did very well. Beautifully done. That is not easy. You have to think because it's worded in a tricky way and you could falter on it, but you did not, sir, and congratulations. All right. Cynthia, what's Glenn going to say?
My God, we're both about the same, so we don't have a choice. I guess it's going to be.
It'll
yes,
have to be yes, she is as much a female chauvinist as I am a male chauvinist.
Which I hate chauvinists, but we
which
have
could
to
be
use
zero.
that.
Okay, let's bring him on. Glenn, is Cynthia as much of a female chauvinist as you are a male chauvinist, would you say?
No.
It's tricky, I grant you that, and it's not easy, and I'm sorry, but Patti and Donald and Ruth and Milton got it, and they will split the pot, and we'll come back in a moment and find out who's going to win this game with our $300 question. You come back, too. See you in a minute. This one is for $300 and all the marbles, and all the money, too, incidentally. Fellas, if you're ready, here we go. When you want one thing, and your lady wants another, do you stand a better chance of getting your way by being logical or emotional? I'll say it again. When you want one thing and your gal wants another thing, do you stand a better chance of getting your way by being logical or emotional? Think about it, gentlemen. We'll come back for your answers in a moment. Ooh, that's another toughie. We'll start with you, Cynthia.
Oh, logical.
Logical. He can get what he wants.
Because I'm very emotional.
Aha, and he'll say now, let's think
If he's
about
emotional, somehow it doesn't work. I like being the one that's emotional.
All right.
So
He
I
can
want
get
him
his
to
way
be the logical
by
one.
being logical. Let's bring him on and find out.
Crazy.
Glenn,
Yeah.
between you and Cynthia, if you're having a disagreement, and what is the one way you can get your way? Is it by being logical with her or by being emotional?
Yeah. I haven't still gotten over the chauvinist nonsense.
Yes.
Logical.
That's what you said. You're right. Absolutely right, sir. Thank you. Patti, between you and Donald, how would it work for Donald?
His logic is so peculiar.
Yes.
But, logical.
Logical. You go for Donald to be logical.
Yeah, I hate to see him pulling his hair and beating his
Yes,
breast and picking at his mustache. It's
I
not
agree.
pretty.
Let's bring him on. Donald, when you want your way, what is the best way to get it with Patti? By being logical or emotional?
Emotional!
Wrong, sir. That's not what Patti said.
No.
No, she said the other one. She said she doesn't like to see you get
That's
emotional.
not logical.
That's not logical. Nevertheless, it's not right, too. Thank you. Ruth, what's Milton going to say?
Well, I think he'll say logical.
You think he'll say
Because
logical?
I do respond to logic and hate emotion.
Right.
So I mean emotion in terms of tantrum and so
Yes.
forth. and he doesn't do that very often. So I'd say logical.
Okay, let's bring the man on. Shh, don't say a word now. Milton, if you want to get your way with Ruth, what is the best way to accomplish that? By being logical or emotional?
I used to be emotional, but I think now I have to say logical.
That's what Ruth said. You are right. Absolutely right, sir. We will split the pots. Ruth and Milton, Cynthia and Glenn split that pot in half. Okay, there's a signal. We have a tie. The blue section with Ruth and Milton. The red section with Patti and Donald. They win it. And we will be back in just a moment to find out how much they won. Please come back. See you in a second. We had a two-way tie today. Ruth and Milton, Patti and Donald had $275. We had $1,000. Their rooting sections will divide $1,550. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you for coming. We will see you next time. Bert Convy saying so long, everybody. Bye now.
This is Gene Wood speaking for Tattletales, a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production. This program has been edited for broadcast.